Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hads. Today is Friday, if you're listening, obviously, but actually, I didn't procrastinate this week. It's actually Monday. I'm recording this on a Monday, mostly because I'm going to be going out of town this weekend, Thursday, and so I kind of just needed to get ahead of the schedule. But also, like, Mondays are my more chillax days because I don't have a lot of client check-ins on Mondays. Majority of them are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday is kind of just like, get shit done kind of days. But yeah, this past weekend, I literally just didn't do much at all. Kind of just like a recap on me and what I'm doing right now. I'm currently doing like a little mini cut just to kind of clean up some things and so that I can go into a true build season before I go into another full off season. So I'm really excited about that. But my body has not been like completely responding in a way that I wanted it to, and it's being like very stubborn with losing body fat. So my calories are pretty low, which is fine. Like I can handle it. I've prepped before on 2 hours of cardio and 1,200 calories, so I think I'll be fine, but it's just taking me a little bit longer. I've had to like dig just a little bit deeper. So my food is I'm currently doing like a little bit of a carb cycling. So like a couple two like dig days essentially, three low days. So the dig days are like really low and then low's a little step up from there. And then the two high days, which aren't even that high. My goodness. But um yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, and my food is quite literally low. But ever since my last check in, I've been like every morning I've been weighing it. I've been consistently dropping. So I know body fat is starting to come off now, but I just wanted to say too, like, contrary to what you may see online of like people being like, I never took my client under X amount of calories, like, you got to do whatever it takes to elicit a fat loss response. And if that means your calories go under 1,300 calories, then your calories go under 1,300 calories. Like, there comes a point in time where it's like your body will burn fat where it wants to, and sometimes you have to dig deeper and go lower. And then you reverse diet. You don't, it's not like you're staying in this calorie deficit forever. Now, that would be harmful, but sometimes you do have to really dig deep and elicit a good response in order to, get the fat loss to happen quicker. And so, I mean, this just doesn't even go for prep people, like prep athletes. Like, this is like lifestyle athletes, this is the same thing. So, don't get the misconception of like, if you're gonna like hire a coach, then they're not gonna take your food to like this amount or whatever. And it's like, well, that's not true. When it comes to like working with me, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get you to fat loss. Now, if I feel like you're not quite ready for fat loss, then yeah, we need to reverse diet. You get your body in a good spot hormonally. But I feel like I'm in a fine spot to where I can, do this little mini cut here. So hoping to wrap it up fairly shortly because I really want to go into a good build season so that I can start to build up these glutes and hamstrings and work my way into a prep for 2025. Obviously, I'm not competing this year in 2024, but 2025 is the goal. It may be the end of 2025, which I'm completely fine with so that I can have enough time. But even then, I'm not really putting a rush or a timeline on anything. I am just working my ass off doing what I can. So that's a little update on me. Like I said, this past weekend, Saturday I went out to a gym like 30 or 25 minutes north of here. And I really love it there because it was just like a getaway. I was able to get some content and all of that good stuff, got a lot of good videos, and it was just kind of a chill day. Other than that, I just like watched this show that I had finished watching on Netflix, and I chilled out with the dogs. And then Sunday, yesterday, like, I meal prepped a little bit of stuff. I went to church. I got to spend time with my friend Lincoln because she moved back. So I'm so glad one of my besties moved back. But no, I'm going to just kind of share like this next weekend what I'm doing. So my boyfriend and I are going to Dallas, we're going to the OU Texas game, and it's the same time as the Texas State Fair, and we're just gonna have a fun old time. So I'm really excited, but I will like admit that I am a little bit nervous to travel just because I have been, so on with my macros and stuff and my nutrition and training. So I don't want these like couple of days to derail that. But I'm just being honest with you here, like just so you know that like everyone goes through that. If you have goals and you're like scared to like you're gonna derail them, just know that like you're not alone, and I too go through that. So it's not just, a lot of the times I have a lot of clients and they come to me or my athletes and they're like they just think like I'm this perfect human being and I'm perfect all the time, and it's not true. And this goes back to like my nutrition stuff. I'm having to dig so deep is because my free meals were like really hurting me. Like I was like having consistent lows, and then I would have my free meal and then my weight would just like spike through the roof. So, geez, I'm so tired. See, this is what happens when I do this at 5 p.m. because then I'm like starting to wind down. But, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then in a couple weeks, I have another trip planned going back to Texas. But I'm super excited for all of these. It's going to be such a fun time. And I can't believe that it's already October. Today's October 7th when I'm recording. And I just think that's super bizarre. So that's kind of like what the topic of today's podcast is going to be about. Just like how to finish off the year strong and things you can do to finish off strong and ahead of other people. Because if you know me, I'm super competitive and I always want to beat other people out. And so if you want to get ahead of not only your own personal journey, but other people's, which I know we shouldn't compare, I know we shouldn't, whatever. But at the same time, like I love to be winning and, doing the things that I think is winning to myself and, winning and beating other people. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. I have a little bit of a list here that I want to go over. So, first, we're just gonna do like a little bit of reflecting on the year. As I'm looking back on like my memories I've had, I this time last year I was like in prep. I was a month out from my competition, 4 weeks out, and I just think it's so cool that I don't really know how that was a full year ago. How a full year has already came and gone from that experience is literally crazy. But I finished last year so strong, thinking like, oh my gosh, like this is the pinnacle, like this has been the best year yet of just like my personal growth journey, and I can honestly say that this year has been better. And so it's really cool to see that each year I've kept leveling up and up and up and up and up. So I just know that even 2024 was killer, better than 2023, but I still have 3 months to prove that. And so I'm very excited to keep working towards my goals. So it's exciting. Obviously, within this past year of 2024, a lot of things have gone well. I started this podcast. I started Health with Hads, my coaching, and I quit my full time job. I took a lot of new opportunities, a lot of jumps of faith that were really scary to me, and they took a lot out of me. I cried a lot. I It was a lot for me. So, but I would say that, some things that didn't really go well, I guess you could say, was just like maybe how I handled some things in certain situations. I could have been better about them. But like I said, it's all learning experiences. So I just encourage you to like take a minute to reflect on everything you've done this year, what went good, what didn't. I know the year's not over yet and we're in the last quarter now, but it's still good to know that you have like 3 months to like still become the best version of yourself and get better every single day. Like it's not over yet, we still have time. So um but for this last couple of months, I think it's super important that you do have clear intentions set And this is way different than like, setting a New Year's resolution, because we're talking about here and the now, exactly what we can do. So today, actually, I like opened up my planner and I was like, you know what? I'm struggling with content. I feel like this is my biggest piece of thing that I could really work on right now when it comes to my business growth. And so I was like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write down all the content that I'm going to do for the next 3 months. And I did it and I was like, holy shit, like that felt so good. And now it's just actually showing up every day and sticking to my word of posting at least 4 times a week. So I have at least 4 pieces of content ready to push out every single week. And I think it's just going to help me overall feel accomplished, but just like knowing that I am, making effort towards my goals, because and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, because there's a lot of things that I've done when it comes to content that does work and doesn't. And so, yeah, I'm just really trying to focus on that because I feel like I can really make a lot of improvements there. So I'm very excited for all of that. But yeah, as far as like my training goes, and just some goals that I have set for there too, is like being very intentional about my mind muscle connection and the movements and the body parts that I'm wanting to bring up, which is my glutes and hamstrings. So I have been very, very diligent on exactly what I'm trying to do to bring those areas up, because I know for a fact whenever I step on stage again before I want to compete again, that those areas need to be brought up tremendously, like overall leg development. And so I'm literally putting so much intention into those days. And I think it has been paying off. And I know these next, 12 weeks, they're going to continue as long as I keep showing up. And yeah, I think too, like this past weekend, I was very independent. Like I didn't see my boyfriend. I wasn't around anybody, and it was kind of just like a good refresher that I needed to keep going. Sometimes you just need away from everybody to like get to regain your focus back. And so I encourage you to do that. It is a little bit selfish, but I think I needed it to just like clear my head, get focused, get back onto what I need to. But yeah, just like my personal growth too. Like I don't know. I would just yesterday I was cleaning. I was like, I'm so set up for success that it just makes me feel so good going into tomorrow. So, um, but yeah, some strategies, some tips I have to get ahead of everybody else. And obviously, there's gonna be a like health and fitness related into this, just because like that's me, obviously, but strength training. I can't explain the importance around this, and it doesn't even have to just be because you want to change your physique. It can be for reasons as just bettering your health overall. And it's if you are someone who's continuously working on your body, your physique, your health, whatever it may be, it shows to other people that you have discipline, and you have discipline not only within your, fitness and health, but that discipline carries over into other aspects of your life. And so that's something that I try to carry over with me, is like I do have this strong discipline of going to the gym. Now I need to carry this over to creating my content, to sitting down and doing my journaling and my devotional and all of these little things. Like I need to carry this over into other parts of my life. And like going to the gym definitely helps with that, the discipline aspect, the consistency, all of that. Um, so my tips for like setting goals for these next couple of months is like everyone should have a logbook for their training, and within that, write out all your training for the next 12 weeks and be like, all right, I want to hit this goal, this goal, this goal. I'm going to go this day, this day, this day. And it's really going to help set you up for success. And you're going to see so much strength gains. It's not even crazy. If you were to just really, really focus for a 12-week period, you could make so much progression. I can't even explain it. So, a couple lifts and things that I would focus on to get you to that point of like getting stronger and, building your physique is like some type of deadlift. I like to do RDLs, so they target glutes, hamstrings, a little bit of back. Squats is huge, lunges, any type of like overhead pressing movement. Um, these big these big movements, hip thrusts, like just really dial in on these big compound movements and try to get stronger at them. Obviously keep your form intact, but getting really, really strong at them. Um, and then going into nutrition. So staying on track with your nutrition over the next, couple of months. Like people are like, oh, but it's the holidays. And I'm like, okay, we have Halloween, we have, which I don't even consider Halloween a holiday. Like, what the F? Actually, Halloween's the most stupidest thing ever. But like, okay, whatever. Halloween, you like candy, cool. I'm not a huge candy person. Like, even before I started my health journey or whatever and started being a coach and everything, I did not like candy. So I'm not a candy fan. I could give two shits less about Halloween or candy. I think it's the stupidest holiday ever. Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving just because obviously I am a foodie, but at the same time, that's my dad's birthday sometimes falls on Thanksgiving. My mom and dad's anniversary sometimes falls on Thanksgiving. And so Thanksgiving is like a very sacred and memorable holiday to me. One of my favorite ones. Thanksgiving, and there's like Christmas. That's 3 holidays right there. You think 3 days is going to deter you from making progress over a 3 month span? You're absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying that, only 3 days, those are the only 3 days where you're not going to be eating quote unquote healthy. But I'm just saying, like, over this month span, like, there will probably be, closer to like 5 to 7 days. For me personally, just because I am very regimented with what I do. But like those days, if you're 100% on the rest of those days are not going to derail you. And it also shouldn't be used as an excuse as to why you can't start right now. Like there's 4 to 5 days. Because there's 4 to 5 days, you're gonna wait till the new year. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I know there's football games and like holidays and da 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 da, but like there's so many ways you can stay on track with your goals right now by like just being mindful and learning how to fuel your body properly and eat the correct things even when eating out. You don't have to freaking go ham every time you eat out and cause your stomach blowout issues. So, um yeah, just like enjoy your favorite things but like mindfully. Like you'll be fine, We don't have to obsess over these things. So, another thing too, just a little bit of talk on like your mindset and motivation. Like you're never going to be motivated. And so right now, while it may seem like it's getting colder, like the seasons are changing, like that should be a huge motivator for you to want to get better. Like for me, I love when the seasons change because it's like, ooh, like what can I do to change or be better here, better than the previous season, instead of saying like, oh, I'll just wait till the next. Like all you have is right now, and it's just mind blah mind blah mind boggling that people have this mindset. And so if I wish sometimes that I could be a whole ass mindset coach, because I feel like my mind is just out there, very strong and resilient. And I you can't learn. I don't know. Can you? Mindset is so hard to be learned, but I don't know. Anyways, don't rely on your motivation. You have to be accountable. So, whether that's like a workout partner or yourself or a coach like me, that accountability aspect, especially through these seasons, is something that's super beneficial. Um, I mean, yeah, like share your goals with people, like your family, your friends, your spouse, even on social media. Like, who cares? I've come to the realization it's like social media is a part of my job and I'm going to share whatever I want on there. And I'm tired of like having this limiting belief of like, oh, people don't care, da da da. And like people do, people really actually pay attention. So, yeah, those are my little tips on leveling up. Another couple of ways I think you can um level up and get ahead this year for the end of this year is to stop consuming alcohol. Like literally cut it out. cut it out for 12 weeks and see how you feel. I guarantee you're going to feel so much better. And if you're someone that does rely on it, I guarantee you're going to lose weight. You're going to have less digestion issues. I don't really think people truly understand the impacts of alcohol on not only your physical health but your mental health too. Like constantly needing to rely on it to feel some type of way is very much a crutch and a terrible mindset to have. So, going back to the mindset thing, like I want to be a mindset coach. I want to teach people how to change their mindset, but that's such a hard thing to do, changing your mindset when people are so stuck in their ways. Truthfully, like that's something I want to learn how to do, but that brings me to my next thing you should do for these last couple of months is start to read. Like really read books today. I started a new one. It's actually on the floor down here. It's called Good Anxiety: Harnessing the Power of the Most Understood Emotion. And I'm so hooked to it. Like, I love learning the psychology, the why behind things. And yeah, I have a whole couple books that I have over here that I'm just itching to read. And so I think that's a good challenge for a lot of people too, is like, you should want to be continuously learning, and it doesn't matter what age you are. Like your brain doesn't stop learning and evolving. I've been hearing of this thing of like, oh, like my whatever lobe is already developed when you hit this age or whatever, but that doesn't stop you from learning and changing your views and the way you think. And I think that also has a lot to do with mindset as well, as like if you're reading books. And obviously I love to read like fictional books too, like romantic, like murder, all of that stuff. But I also really love the self-help books, the books where I'm growing. Like right now I'm reading the Gut Health Protocol. It's about 700 or 800 pages, maybe 500. I don't know. It's a big book, and it's like talking about all about like the digestion issues, how you can cure them um naturally. And I just find it all so fascinating. I love 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 to learn because it just makes me be able to view and judge the world differently, because I have perspectives from other lenses. And you can't tell me that reading and learning doesn't teach you, it not only does it teach you about yourself, but you're able to apply that and react better to certain situations. And I feel like that's why I love it. And I feel like I've grown so much because I've gotten out of my comfort zone and read these types of books, where in the past I'd probably just stick to like more fictional, but I think these learning ones really get me out of my comfort zone. And it's like frustrating to people like, "Oh, I just don't like those kind of books." And it's like, "Okay, but if you haven't tried, then how do you know?" Like come on now. Okay, another piece of advice. I'm trying to think. I kind of just went through my list and that's all I had. But maybe just like taking some like trips or like time alone. Like I kind of mentioned this like before summer as well. Is like you don't have to like say yes to everything. And for me especially, I definitely don't say yes to everything. I think I have these 2 trips planned, and the holidays, November coming up, December. But other than that, like I just want to focus on myself, focus on growing my business, my physique, and just evolving as a human being. I think that's the biggest takeaway that you should take from this is, what can you do to grow as a human being in these next 3 months? What are you going to do? Are you going to, start planning, start time blocking, start reading, start going to the gym, start drinking more water? Like it can be any small little thing, but what are you going to do starting right now that's going to help you level up? And any of those things I mentioned are not only going to help you probably level up physically, obviously, if they're the fitness side of things, but mentally too. Like, just knowing that you have these goals set in place. So, how are you going to execute them? How are you going to show up and be that person and evolve as a person? So, I hope you guys found this episode fun and entertaining, and not entertaining, but a good little, like, kick in the ass reminder of, like, maybe this is how I can level up this for these last months. Don't take shit from anyone. Don't care what people think. Don't rely on people's opinions. Do what you want to do to get to that next level. And if that means you have to miss out on some things, that means you have to miss out on things. Like for me, some weekends I just want to work. I don't want to go out and have fun and do shit. Like I want to work on myself because I know the only time is right now. And so if you're struggling with that FOMO feeling, you need to have some JOMO, joy of missing out, which is me. Like I love not going anywhere and I love just focusing on me and doing my thing. So, hope you all enjoy this episode, and we'll have a fun little recap for next week when I get back from my trip. So, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.